As always, I have a very special guest joining me on Celeb Select. And the song that I just played you, One Dance from Drake and Wizkid, is one of the songs that my guest wanted to listen to. So I'd like to welcome Mr. ALY ALLIBHAI to the San UFM studio right now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
It's so good to have you.
Yeah.
What is it about One Dance that you like so much?
Well, I like Drake. You know, I'm Canadian. So, Drake is he's one of my top hip hop artists.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a great song. I mean, it's got a good beat, nice vibe. It's catchy. It's got Wizkid in it.
It's got Wizkid in
yeah.
it. You can't really go wrong with Wizkid right now.
For sure. Wizkid's on fire. Absolute fire.
Well, you mentioned that you're Canadian.
Yes.
Is that where you grew up?
I was born and raised in Canada. But then I moved to Uganda about 14 years ago. Yeah, so I've been here a while. My family was originally from Uganda.
Okay.
And then they left during the Idi Amin times. And then I was born in Canada. And then my dad moved back. And I used to visit him on holidays. And I ended up moving here after I finished university and all that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is it about Uganda? I mean, you could easily have probably lived in so many other countries or stayed in Canada. What is it about Uganda?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Uganda's a beautiful place. I used to visit here on holidays for years. And I just fell in love with it. It was like real nice. The weather is good. I mean, the food is good. The people are amazing. So, I used to just come here on holidays all the time. And when I finished university, I was like, you know what? I should actually move to Uganda.
Okay.
And then we started, some family businesses. And then I got into my own things. And yeah, that's kind of like a short version of the long story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do in school?
I studied business.
Business.
Yeah, business.
And that's exactly what you've gone
that's
right
exactly
into.
What I do, yeah.
Have you always had a passion? Were you like doing stuff maybe with your dad when you were growing up?
I mean, yeah, I've always been into business my whole life. I've actually always been into, now that I look back at my life, I've always been into entertainment and events and all this stuff. Like even back in high school, I was the guy organizing the high school dances. I used to always have, the grad parties and all the cool so I used to DJ back in the day. I used to always be the guy playing the music. So it all kind of fit together like some puzzle that was just meant to be.
That's really interesting that even back in the day. I did hear that you DJ and you're a really good DJ.
Remember at Rouge? I used to DJ once in a while back in the day, like on Saturday nights. And then,
so have you given it up or do you once in a while still?
I still got I like playing with records, so I got a lot of vinyl. I still got the turntables. I still got all the machines. So once in a while, I'll just have friends over and I'll jump on and I'll play some tunes. I can still do it, but I mean, I don't do it commercially. I just do it as a hobby.
As a hobby, something you enjoy.
Yeah.
So when you came back to Uganda, how did you start out? How did you set up?
Well, when I first moved back to Uganda, I started with a family business, which is tight security, and I did that for a while. I'm still doing that. I mean, that's my family business, but
I remember the pickups from way back in the day. Yes.
So yeah, that's what I started doing that, and then I opened Rouge in 2004. And Rouge kind of put me into the whole entertainment arena.
Okay.
So I started with that, and it was. I started to buy a small sound system and lights, and we started doing parties and events, and then, it started from the club and then to smaller events and then bigger events, and just grew with time. And then events kind of ventured into more music side, where I got into management, and then after that I got into opening a record label and a recording studio, and then I ventured into film.
I mean, you're doing so many different things. But let me just take you back to when you started Rouge. I mean, in terms of entertainment venues in Uganda, like bars and nightclubs, a lot of people say it's a really difficult business to keep alive, that maybe you might have support for 6 months, a year, and then it fizzles out. How did you manage to, keep people coming?
I owned Rouge for 6 years, and then I sold it, and then it stayed on for a few years. But for those 6 years, we pretty much it was rocking for those 6 years. It was pretty good. I think we just kept things different, and we did a lot of things that people weren't really doing at that time.
Okay.
We started to do these club shows. Every Friday, you'd have a live performer performing in there, and we bring all the top Ugandan musicians on Friday nights, and we had different theme nights. I think we did a lot of theme parties, and we had to renovate. Renovation is very key. Renovate and revamp and kind of just keep
constantly giving people something new.
Something new. That's what it's all about, right? You got to just keep it fresh all the time.
Okay.
And I mean, I think I could have run Rouge for many more years, but I wanted to really expand into Talent Africa because this was something that I was a much bigger scope. I mean, the late nights and, you know, the whole thing of...
And you have to be there.
You need to be there. When you're there, you make like twice as much money as if you're not there, for many reasons. I mean, when you're there, you're hosting, you know, a lot of your friends will come and people will come because you're there. And if you're not there, maybe those people won't come. And when you're not there, you can have other problems like theft and weird things happening. So
and things disappearing behind the bar.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good run. It was great.
6 years is a good
6
run.
years, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you for your next request right now.
Okay.
This is a song that I am mad about. Can I just say, Diamond Platinum's AY. Why this song?
The song is just incredible. I think it's this year the best track coming out of Africa so far. This year.
Okay.
The beat is crazy. Yeah.
I love that. I listened to it once and I was like, I had fallen.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Ziggo, the remix. The CEO of Talent Africa, ALY ALLIBHAI, here with me. Such a pleasure. So good catching up with you. Now, you mentioned how even back in high school, you were involved in entertainment and you were doing events, and now you've taken that to the next level. Just tell us, you know, for people who don't know that much about Talent Africa, I mean, some people think you just manage artists, but you do events as well. Okay. I mean, how has it been? Because you were Talent 256. Yeah. And then you recently changed to Talent Africa. Yeah.
So, basically we used to be Talent 256, and then we changed the name to Talent Africa. Reason being is wanted to give the company a bigger scope. Because we do a lot of work. We started out just doing entertainment stuff here in Uganda. Therefore, 256 was, you know, fit quite well. But
and
these
who
days...
were the first artists that you signed in Uganda?
The first artist I ever signed in Uganda was Blue 3. Blue 3, and then Michael Ross, and then Navio. Those are my first three. And then Tonics. And I had a whole, and in those days, we used to manage so many artists. These days, I don't do that much management because I focus on a lot of, like bigger picture things. And we still work with a lot of artists, but in different ways, where they have a manager and we work with their team. And it's more like business development and bookings and agency and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Talent Africa, basically, it's a 360 entertainment company. So we do pretty much events, and then we do film and TV. We produce a TV show Mashiriki Mix used to be on DSTV, so we were doing all that. Now we have another TV show coming out very soon, which you guys are going to see on Ugandan TV in September.
Exciting.
That's about all I can say about it for now, though.
Come on, a little more juice.
I'll get you some more later. And then we have the whole we do a lot of experiential marketing. We have a recording studio. So we do a lot of different things. We have a magazine. We do international booking agents for artists pretty much all over Africa. We work in pretty much 10, 12 different countries, booking artists and stuff like that.
So you started in Uganda and then you spread out to the rest of Africa.
Yes.
Was that a challenge for you at the time?
Well, it kind of, I don't know, it wasn't really, it just kind of happened. I don't know, I can't really explain how it did, but people were seeing that I was booking a lot of international acts for Uganda. And then, it's always worthwhile to try and get the artists more shows because it's better for them, it's better for the promoters. And so I knew a lot of different promoters and companies and people who are working in other countries. So I just kind of started branching out a little bit, and then people started to hear about it. Oh, these guys, they can book you whoever they want. And then these days now, all the artists as well, they know that Talent Africa does, that we're tried and tested and we'll always deliver. So these days I get artists calling me hey, we want to do a tour in Africa. Okay. Can your company handle that for us? So before it was not easy to get the artists, and now the artists are looking for us. So
that's exciting.
It's cool.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of, you do events, you've started doing TV production as well. In terms of artist management, I mean, in terms of, I think, branding for artists right now, I think we're doing so well. But in the beginning, it was really iffy. It was really shaky. Yeah. And you work with corporate, companies. Was that a challenge, being able to approach people, corporate companies, and try and get everything together?
Well, the good thing is in Uganda, our corporate countries have actually supported the entertainment industry quite a bit. It's nice here. In Uganda, you can have all the artists have one huge concert every year. And, it's supported usually by breweries, telecoms, beverage companies. If you compare it to other countries like Kenya, for example, you never see artists in Kenya besides maybe Saudi Soul, but artists in Kenya like having the kind of album launches that our artists here have. So in some ways, our artists are doing very good locally.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good news. That's good news. I'll ask you for your second request right now. Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling.
Yes.
Why did you choose this song?
I don't know. It's just a great song. I mean, you just turn it on and it just makes you feel so good, makes you feel happy. It's just a good tune.
Do you get up and dance when you listen
Well,
to
yeah,
it?
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that when you were starting out in business, you started with tight security, then you started doing your thing, Talent 256, which became Talent Africa.
Yeah.
Is that all you're managing at the moment, or is there more?
Well, I have some other investments here and there, and some real estate stuff and some other stuff that I do, but pretty much my focus is at the moment Talent Africa.
Okay.
There's so many things going in within Talent Africa. It's like having like a bunch of companies under, it's Talent Africa group. So there's so many things happening within just that entertainment field that it's got me working too much. And if I bring on any more, man, my wife is going to kill me.
I was going to ask you about that because you are a busy bee. You're a busy bee.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you're zipping from one country to another constantly. You have so many events, so many different things, happening. How do you manage all of it?
It's a lot. I mean, it really is a lot. I just try and I just try and make time when I can to take a breather and take a break and just kind of relax. Usually, like, I'll take a few days off here or there and just kind of get away, go to the beach or just, go somewhere.
I see your holiday pictures. I don't like you very much when I see your holiday pictures.
They need to be there or else I'd burn out. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of like working with other companies and other people, what are some of the challenges? Because, Uganda is one of those countries where apparently we have one of the highest number of entrepreneurs in Uganda. People always venturing into business and it's not easy. What's your advice? I
mean, definitely doing work in Uganda at times is not easy, especially in the entertainment arena. There's so much going on and there's so many people trying to... The biggest thing here is that guys really want to copy.
True.
I've never seen a place like here where you do something and somebody just wants to come and replicate like exactly what you've done.
Works. They're making money.
Like, there's like no shame, no shame. It's just like, okay, it worked for him. Okay, let's do it. So you see that happening a lot out here with a lot of the stuff we do. We've done it, and then you see someone trying to do the exact same thing, and it's just like, come on, man, just be a little bit original. It's gonna help you in the long run. But yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is, I guess, another big problem out here is, dealing with a lot of dishonest people. Yeah. A lot of times you work with people and, until that payment has come in, you actually I never accept the job until I see that the deposit has been made. Because
so that's how you do it now?
You kind of have to.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of have to. So, yeah, that's a couple.
Because you hear horror stories. Have you been burnt before really badly?
Well, not really badly, but there's been times where things have happened, and for example, let me give you an example. Like, say I'm booking a tour for some Akon or something, and someone's supposed to pay you. They say they want to do it. They say they're doing it. They'll pay you the first deposit, and they've put a lot of money down, and then all of a sudden, like time for the second deposit, and they haven't budgeted for it, and it doesn't happen, and then the whole tour can go up, right? It can fall through, and you might have many countries doing a certain tour, and if one country makes a mistake, it can screw up the whole tour.
Wow!
So you just got to be very careful with the way you handle business in this.
So this business of I'll take your word for it when people are starting out, none of that. Yeah.
None of that.
Have you heard? You're starting your little business. Yeah. You must see the money up front.
Yeah.
Okay, now you just mentioned your wife.
Yes.
You are engaged.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your lovely lady?
Yeah. Well, Sylvia Wilson Namutebi. She's amazing person.
Former Miss Uganda.
Yeah. Former Miss Global Africa. She's used to be a beauty queen. Actually, she still is.
Yes.
But that's it's great. Yeah, we had our first child recently.
I know.
His name is Aries. He's 5 months old, and it's amazing. I'm loving fatherhood and loving this new chapter of life. It's really nice.
Has it changed the way you see the world?
Definitely. My life has changed a lot. Before I was kind of always out there, always doing this nightlife work. You're always out there, going to all the events. I'm involved with some like bars and stuff like that, where I do nights, and I have some stuff going on, like Sky Lounge, for example. So I mean, before I was always out, and now with the baby and stuff, I mean, things have changed for sure.
How were the sleepless nights?
Yeah, there were sleepless nights. Last night was a sleepless night.
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes on for a while.
It does.
Sorry, I don't want to scare you, but maybe even up to 2 years.
That's why I'm here with my coffees. Yeah.
Okay, so he's 5 months old.
He's 5 months old.
Have you had the conversation about how many kids you want to have?
We're just going to start with one and then see how things go. Right now, one is good. It's keeping us, very busy. And it's very exciting at the same time. And we love it. And we'll go on and we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
I can just say, from the outside looking in, I mean, a lot of people always notice when a woman easily drops the weight after a baby. Did she have like some crazy routine or mad schedule or?
I don't, really.
Oh yes, I'm asking you because I know guys are generally clueless. But
yeah,
I mean, in the spot.
Yeah, I mean, Sylvia, she does a bit of yoga and she works out a little bit, but I mean, she pretty much she's lost all the weight. I don't know how it happened so fast, but I think breastfeeding also helps. I think you lose a lot of weight if you're breastfeeding. So, it's pretty incredible.
Well, you tried to answer that really well.
Yeah, I did answer that, right?
Yeah, so you did.
Yeah.
So your next request is Sia and Sean Paul's song.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this one?
I really like this song. I don't know. I like the video. It's got that old school kind of like, black and white feel to it. And then I like Sean Paul. He's a friend of mine, and I was in Jamaica with him recently. And that guy is just so cool. And I like it whenever he's on the charts. So that's why I had to put it out there. It's Sia's song, but, SP's on there. So that's why I had to throw it on your countdown.
Okay, here it is. Cheap Thrills.
Up with it, girl. Rock with it, girl. Show them it, girl. With a bang bang. Bounce with it, girl. Dance with it, girl. Get with it, girl. With a bang bang.
Come on, turn it.
Sia and Sean Paul together on Cheap Thrills, a remix on 88.2 Sanyu FM, and on Celeb Select. I'm chatting with ALY ALLIBHAI, the CEO of Talent Africa. So a lot of people, and a lot of the response on Twitter, people asking about business, and they want to know, do you have a philosophy in business that you run by?
Not really, Not like a...
Are you open to trying different things?
I am. I take a lot of risks, and I just kind of do what I feel like doing, and hoping that it'll work, and just not being afraid to take risks. I think that's my philosophy.
That's like the number one thing you have to do in business. So you have to take risks.
Exactly. So I think that's, if there was a philosophy, that would be my philosophy. That, if you believe in something and you believe in yourself, then just go and get it. And if you try hard enough, you will get it. And if you fail, just keep going, and eventually you'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's business. Now, as a person, what's your mantra?
I like, I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I like to just basically I like the outdoors. I like to play sports. I like to go to the gym. I like to remain healthy. I love to travel. That's what keeps me going.
So you said you go to the gym. What sports do you play?
I play basketball. I play squash. I play soccer. I can play volleyball. Yeah, I play a lot of sports.
Where do you get the time to do it?
Well, I play basketball quite often. I play basketball like twice a week, and I also play squash, and I hit the gym like 3-4 times a week. So about 6 out of 7 days in a week, I'm like in the gym at Kibera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that being fit and exercising is important for mental health?
Yeah, definitely. It's very important. I mean, it definitely helps reduce stress levels, and just definitely 100%. When I'm having a really bad day and I go to the gym and I go and I work out and I have a sauna and steam after it, you come out of the gym with a new mindset. You feel refreshed. Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
So can I ask, when's the wedding date?
The wedding is set for next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
That's when next year?
May.
That's 12 whole months.
I know, next May.
May.
Yes.
Okay. Now we know it's May.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to that, and congratulations
to
you
very
guys,
much.
especially on your beautiful baby.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Of course.
And I'm going to ask you for one last song, a song that has very special meaning to you. And you picked Navio's latest song.
Yes.
Njogereza. Why this one?
Well, Navio is a part of our Talent Africa family. I've known Navio way before even before when you started out with Clear Cut, like way back in the day. So he's an old friend of mine, and then we started working together, and we've been working together for a long time. And yeah, he's a cool guy.
Here it is, Navio.